Hey guys, what's going on? Joe Who here, coming at you with another car audio install video. So, in this video, we're going to be installing a receiver or a stereo in a Dodge Nitro. The Dodge Nitro is actually my brother's, and he needs an upgrade desperately. So we're gonna hook him up. So in this video, we're actually gonna be installing this bad boy right here. This is called the JVC KW M750BT. And without further ado, let's just get started. Alright guys, so for step one, we're going to be installing the stereo harness into the aftermarket adapter that goes connected into the vehicle. The thing I love about this process is that you can literally do it from your home. You don't have to go inside your car, sweat or freeze, depending on what season you're doing this in. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all connected, and then we'll skip to the end. Alright guys, so after all is said and done, this is finally connected, and you can see it's just pretty much wire coloring. I chose to use electrical tape on this because that's all I currently have. This wire is not connected, so that's fine. I would prefer to use the crimp connectors. I just feel like it makes everything cleaner, less of a mess, because you do tend to get adhesive on your fingers. But it's that simple. I did this in my own room. And now it's time to just go plug everything inside the car. Alright guys, so this is the inside of the Dodge Nitro. This is how the inside looks. To take this piece out, what you're going to want is preferably a screwdriver or a kit. And what you're going to want to do is you want to fit it in there, prop this clip out. Then there's another one on this side. Then you can squeeze it in through over here and then over here. And then it just pops out. And it's that simple. There we go. I think it's important to note that I put the car on neutral along with the e-brake on. The reason I did that is because I wanted to pull this piece out a little more, give myself a little more play, and it made it easier to get to these wires. I just recommend it. You don't have to, but it might be a little harder. And the next step would be to remove the factory radio, which is just 4 regular screws. Alright guys, so I think I should note that the aftermarket kit that I bought actually brings 2 adapters, and in the instructions it tells you to figure out which one fits your vehicle, so you have to take the radio out ahead of time. This one clearly doesn't fit, so that one I tossed to the side, and voila. Alright guys, what's going on? So I actually had to delay the installation until the next day because it started pouring, and I ran into a little problem installing this bracket for the radio. So the bracket and everything fits fine, it installs in the radio, but the problem was the radio was sticking out a little too much and it didn't look good. So what I did is I actually had to put only 1 screw so that I could adjust it so that this way the radio is able to move around a little bit, has a little bit of play. And I'm going to test it out, and hopefully everything comes out good. All the wires and everything are installed. Don't worry, I'm going to push this back there. The microphone is installed. This is the microphone, so I took this panel off. I ran it through the side, under the dashboard, and then in through this area. As you can see, this is the wire for it. I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to maybe zip tie or pinch it somewhere around there. And that's going to be for the microphone. And everything else should be good to go. Alright guys, so I figured I'd give you an update on what I was talking about in terms of the bracket and just leaving 1 screw. So this is actually why I did it. So as you can see, if I was to tilt it, the screen now tilts. Had I put 2 screws, I would not have been able to do that. And hopefully this solves the problem that I was having in terms of not fitting flush inside the original factory dashboard. All right, guys, so now it's time for the moment of truth. As you can see, I fit it in. It's definitely a lot better than what it was before. The only problem I have is maybe this little gap up here. And the only reason it's somewhat a problem is because this radio is very, very thin, and it has the volume buttons up here. Now, it's not impossible to press. I can easily press it. However, it's just a little tedious, but I've tried taking it apart numerous times, and this is honestly the best it's going to get. So without further ado, let's see if this thing fires up. All right, so far so good. Warning, blah, blah, blah. All right, so radio is on. Do we have any songs? Let's put the volume up. All right. All right, so far so good. Another thing I wanted to note is that this stereo came with a USB extension cord that's plugged into the radio. So I actually ran it underneath here, and this is the wire. Now there's still plenty of play. If you want, you can pull this a little bit more. Keep it right here. Sorry about all the tissue. I had to clean off all that grease. But yeah, if you want, you can leave the USB here, maybe throw it inside here. And that's it, guys. I actually moved the USB piece to right here because it looks a little more like factory, and I'm all about factory. So all you got to do is connect the USB cord there, and he's good to go. As you can see, there's no wires hanging out. And I fixed the wire for the microphone and decided to zip tie it right there. So now it's not hanging, it's not visible, and that's it. He's good to go, guys. The radio is installed. I'm not sure if this, yeah, I believe that JVC that pops up is like a sleep mode. It was worrying me a little bit, but I just touched it and it went back. So I think that's a sleep mode. I could probably play with it in the settings. The radio is pretty responsive. I haven't got to test out any USB cord or anything, but I like how responsive this radio actually is. So, all right, guys, at that, this is going to be the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the install. It was a pretty simple install, but obviously you run into complications, but those are the best times to find out how strong you really are. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a like if you did, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon with another car audio install video. Later, guys.